Oh, good evening, everybody. Once again, it's Sunday evening. Quick adjustment. Another week has gone by so quickly that hopefully, right. Another week has gone by so quickly, and I'll update you on one or two things as we go along. So some hymns linked with, still with the new year, if you like. Let me just adjust a light. I'm going to start with 356 from Hymns and Psalms. Great God, we sing that mighty hand, by which supported still we stand. The words are by Philip Doddridge. It's one of the best hymns available for the new year, according to this companion to Hymns and Psalms, which I had from dear Hubert Julian. It's not been included in any Methodist hymn book since 1867, but it was in Hymns and Psalms. Great God, we sing that mighty hand, to the tune Wareham, and the association of this tune with the present words goes back at least to the first edition of the church hymnary. That was quite some time back. So, great God, we sing that mighty hand. So not straying too far away from this section. I mean, we're only going to get the opportunity to do these hymns at this time of the year, and I thought, right, well, let's use these ones, the New Year ones. This one by words by Frida Head. Lord, hear our prayer for this new year. And to the tune Solar Thurn, which is a Swiss traditional melody. An earlier text of this hymn was based on the so-called Prayer of St. Francis. It was given an award in at the 1960 hymn writing competition. So there we are, and the tune, as I say, is a Swiss melody and appeared in English hymnal. Lord, hear our prayer for this new year. So I went back and did a bit of a trawl. That's not very good either, is it, actually? I went back and did a trawl of hymns around the new year in Methodist hymn book, from which I've taken the next hymn, 957. I've said this again, I no doubt I'm going to say it lots more times. I can't tell you the last time I played this tune, but it's a good tune. I will play the tune all the way through, so if you're not familiar with it, then here's your opportunity to get to grips with it. I'm using as ever, the Hereford organ sample set, and it's got a lovely tromba, a trumpet type stop. It's got several trumpets all over the place, but this is a Harrison sounding trumpet. I think it's big and full, lots of body to it. 957, Father, let me dedicate all this year to thee. Here we go, let's find a better camera angle. Often play an amen at the end of a hymn, but amen, so be it, glorify thy name. Some lovely words there. Nor withholdest aught that may. Tongue twisters in there. But there we are, one hymn I suppose which isn't going to get a lot of outings perhaps. So then, moving on to Singing the Faith, our latest book. And this morning we had our covenant service, start of a new year, and the covenant hymn, Come Let Us Use the Grace Divine, 549 in Singing the Faith. It is of course available in other books. I suspect it's in all the other books that that you know of and we've used before. Other books are available, shall we say. I just want to update you a bit on Jonathan Keane. Remember last week I told you he was very poorly in hospital with COVID, and I have spoken to Dennis before I started this evening. He's been very, very grateful for all the prayers and messages that has been received, as has Debbie, Jonathan's sister out there in Australia, so far away. Now Jonathan is much the same as he was last week, it's fair to say, and Debbie has written really quite a heart-wrenching account of how Jonathan is and how severe coronavirus can be if you get it and haven't had the necessary precautions to stave it off. So he has oxygen, he's got a stomach feeding tube, he can't get enough nutrients in, so he has to have a feeding tube. He has to lie on his stomach. And Jonathan, those of you that know that Jonathan likes his food, but at this moment in time he can't even, he's got no appetite, not even for a fried egg. So he's got a tube in his arm which monitors the oxygen levels in his blood and so on. So please continue to remember him in your prayers. This is a difficult time for the family, and Dennis and Hilary, as you know, both taught me, I don't need to tell you, but they both taught me, and they've become very dear friends over the years, so obviously remember them all, please. It is a difficult time for all of them, and Jonathan just wants his lungs to work again properly. So Jonathan, we'll wish you all the best. So there we are, that's the situation with Jonathan. I'm pleased to say that David Crocker is making progress after contracting COVID. He's still not free of it, still testing positive, so we wish him all the best as the days go on. I'll tell you about Mike Diamond in just a little moment. Let's do another hymn a moment. Come Let Us Use the Grace Divine, 549, the covenant hymn, which we sing every year, and I particularly like this tune. I don't know why, but I do. It's from a Scottish psalter, and it's got a chord in it which you wouldn't expect in the key that it's in, and I think it gives it that little bit of extra colour. So come let us use the grace divine. So if you get a chance to have a look at our service from TMC this morning, you just never know what's going to happen during the service, do you? But I thought I was all set and all planned, ready for the anthem. And Mark announced the anthem, and I picked the copy up, and I thought, this isn't the anthem that we're doing, and I got that the wrong copy. So there was a momentary hiatus whilst I found the right copy and set off playing the piece. I did think this afternoon, actually, I wonder how much of it I could have played without coming unstuck. And then would you believe that at the end of the service we're going to sing "Oh Jesus, I Have Promised," but Mark started announcing at the name of, oh no, it's not at the name of Jesus, but "Oh Jesus, I Have Promised." So we were both having a bit of a go at it this morning. So you never know what's going to happen in worship. But if you get a chance to look at the service, it being Covenant, and we are thinking at TMC about how we use our time. A living sacrifice. Mark looked at it from a different various points this morning. So do have entirely up to you, but another good sermon from Mark. So Mike, as you know, this time last week I asked you to think of Mike going into hospital for surgery. And I did update you to say that he had 9 hours of surgery. 9 hours. It doesn't bear thinking about, does it? And, we would take a sort of working day, and he was being operated. And I suppose that's the job of surgeons and doctors, and that is their job. So it's a working day for them. But 9 hours, an intense concentration, knowing that you have the future of somebody's life in your hands. And when do they stop to eat and things like that? Anyway, I'm so pleased to be able to say that Mike came through the operation, and I messaged Ruth earlier today, and I'll read you some of what she had to say. So, unfortunately, Mike didn't have a good night last night with his breathing. They had to collapse a lung to be able to get to his esophagus. It was a big operation which involved his esophagus, and to be able to get at it, they had to deflate a lung. The wonders of things that they can do. So he was in a slight bad night with his breathing and pain, but he's back on track today. Ruth said earlier in the week he's got tubes in him all over the place. He's had one of the drains removed today. That's a start. Hoping tomorrow that he'll be able to have another tube that's stitched into his nose removed, as that's the one that's most difficult for him. Ruth can't speak too highly of the hospital. The nurses are also kind, and nothing is too much trouble for them. And she finishes up by saying, "We are surely blessed, and the prayers of the saints are so precious. Thank you, all of you. God bless you all." So that's from Ruth. I didn't ask Ruth for a hymn this evening, but I thought, well, around 549 is obviously 548, Blessed Assurance, and I thought, well, Mike has shown such courage and such faith, as has Ruth and the family that surround her. So, Blessed Assurance, Jesus is mine. hymn of celebration, watching and waiting. And sometimes that's all we can do. I'm thinking of Jonathan, Debbie there on the other side of the world, watching and waiting, and trusting and praying that things will work out. So please do remember Jonathan and the family, Mike, Ruth and the family. Not the easiest of times, and it's still not an easy time, is it? Dare I say, this COVID, various reports of how it's going to be, and eventually they think it's probably going to be like the common cold. Well, that's what I read, and that's what I'm led to believe. It's not me making that up. I've read it somewhere else. Something that we're going to have to live with. But let's just hope that it does become like that, and we don't lose any loved ones anywhere along the line. I know some people have suffered already. We know people that have been lost to it, and so hard, so hard. Forth in thy name, O Lord, I go my daily labour to pursue. Thee only thee resolve to know in all I think or speak or do. And that came out of our sermon as well this morning. So I'm going to conclude with this one, this hymn, Forth in thy name, a bold hymn. And I think that will hopefully send us in the right sort of direction one hopes for this evening. I will keep you updated as best I can, any news to follow, but your thoughts and prayers are more than welcome. Forth in thy name, O Lord, I go. So I thought I would play you a little voluntary. Oops, let's get organised. Just make sure the technology is working, otherwise I should be in trouble. One of my all-time favourite toccatas from the Sweet Gothic. I see. Sweet Gothic. The toccata which concludes the whole suite. It's a great piece, it really is, and I haven't actually played it for a day or two, so anything could happen. We'll have to wait and see. So, I should have set this all up so I could just do a one touch, but there we go. So, Sweet Gothic, the toccata, the fourth movement. There we are. Good night, God bless. Hope you enjoyed that. And whatever part of the world you are, do take care, keep safe, and I'll be back next week. Good night, God bless.